Hey, Brother Ricky here. This is going to be our reading out of the book of Daniel, chapter number 1. And as usual, we're going to give a short outline and description of the book of Daniel, chapter number 1. And this is what it will be. It will be, the title of it will be Purposed in His Heart. That's what we could title chapter number 1, is Purposed in His Heart, Daniel's dedication in a defiled world. And we need to have dedication to live for God in this defiled world. But if we was to outline it, we'd outline it like this. In verses 1 through 2, we see the captivity of the people. And we could apply it by saying sin leads to bondage, and we must be careful to walk in obedience to God's word. But we must be very careful to walk in obedience to God's word. But then secondly, we see in verses 3 through 7, the conformity of the princes. The application is this: the world will always try to mold believers into its image, and we must resist worldly influence. We must resist worldly influence. I just seen a video online to where a church was dancing to the Super Bowl Kendrick Lamar music. I mean, just wicked music. They're doing the opposite of this. They are conforming to the worldly influence when they should be doing the opposite. But number 3, we see in verse 8, the conviction of the prophet. We apply it like this: believers must have a firm conviction based, or have firm convictions based on God's word, and not waver under pressure. That's probably the biggest struggle in the Christian life is you'll have your convictions, and then people in the world, the workplace, family, whatever, will start pressuring you and putting pressure on you, and you must be very, very, very careful not to let them push you away from God's convictions, and not to push you into compromise. So don't waver under pressure. But then fourthly, we see in verses 9 through 16, the courage of the petition. We apply it like this: we must be bold in our faith, even when facing opposition, trusting that God will honor our stand. So just keep being faithful, keep trusting God, keep standing in God's word, no matter what the world says, no matter what the compromisers say, no matter what the critics say. As long as you're doing God's word and God's will, just keep being faithful. Have that courage just to keep on serving the Lord. But then fifthly, we see in verses 17 through 21, the compensation of the pure. And this is the application: God rewards faithfulness. When we put Him first, He blesses us beyond what we can imagine. You can look up Matthew 6:33. But verse 17 of chapter 1 says, as for these 4 children, God gave them knowledge and skill. Hey, just keep being faithful. Keep being faithful to the Lord. Keep being faithful to God's word. Keep being faithful to God's will.